Huwag yung kayong magkadisgrasyahan tayo niyan. Sinasabi ko magdidisgrasya kayo. At madidisgrasya kayo. Hindi ako urong dito. And I said, I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Good morning, Malacañang Press Corps. Let's now have Presidential Spokesperson ROQUE.
Good morning, Pilipinas, at magandang umaga po sa lahat ng miyembro ng Malacañang Press Corps. Unahin ko na muna po yung mga detalye doon sa pagpupulong na naganap kahapon sa panig po ng mga mambabatas natin at ng ating presidente at pagpupulong din ng presidente doon sa mga miyembro ng Bangsamoro Transition Council. No? Napagkasunduan po na papayag na po ang mga senador doon sa bersyon ng Kamara pagdating doon sa pinagtataluhan na teritoryo. Ang pinagtataluhan po dito ay merong ilang mga munisipyo na kasapi ng Lanao del Norte at 39 barangays na kasapi naman po ng North Cotabato. At ang pinagtatalunan kung yung plebisito para desisyonan kung sasali sila ng Bangsamoro ay gaganapin lamang doon sa mga munisipyo na yon at mga barangay na yon o kinakailangan sumapi yung mga probinsya. Ang naging desisyon po ay kinakailangan alinsunod po sa saligang batas natin at sa desisyon ng ating Korte Suprema sa Umali versus Commission on Elections, kinakailangan bumoto po yung buong probinsya pagdating po ng Lanao del Norte. No? Yung kaso po ng Umali versus Comelec, ang issue po doon, yung conversion ng Cabanatuan City into a highly urbanized city. Ang tanong doon, kung ang boboto lamang ay mga taga-Cabanatuan o kinakailangan bumoto ang lahat ng taga-probinsya ng Nueva Ecija, ang desisyon ng ating Korte Suprema, kinakailangan bumoto yung buong probinsya ng Nueva Ecija. So, yun po yung House version, na kinakailangan bumoto yung mga mamamayan ng Lanao del Norte. Yan lang naman po ang pinaka-contentious issue, no? Yung sinasabing issue tungkol dun sa mga karagatan, hindi naman po masyadong malaking issue yun, no? Dahil talaga naman pong yung karamihan ng karagatan doon sa Sulu Sea ay under national jurisdiction pa rin. So nung na-overcome na po yung obstacle ng territory, ay na-break na po yung impasse, no? At tuloy-tuloy na po ang proseso ng pagpasa ng Bangsamoro Law. Now, kahapon po ay nagkaroon din ng special cluster meeting ang Security, Justice, and Peace Committees, no? At dinaluhan po ito hindi lang ng mga miyembro ng gabinete, kasama rin po si Senate President, si House Speaker, at ilang mga miyembro ng ULAP, no? Kasama po si Mayor Lani Cayetano at saka si Mayor Pamintuan, no? At napagkasunduan po yung guidelines pagdating sa localized peace talks. No? Now, itong localized peace talks po ito ay alinsunod din dun sa napagkasunduan ng huling meeting ng gabinete na kung ayaw ni Joe Maciso na dito sa Pilipinas makipag-usap at kung hindi makakasunod dun sa ilang kondisyon ng ating gobyerno na habang nag-uusap, tigil ang pangingikil ng revolutionary tax, titira sila sa isang kampo na kung saan ibibigay ng gobyerno lahat ng kanilang pangangailangan. At yung pinaka-importante na dapat dito yan sa Pilipinas ay bibigyan ng kapangyarihan ng ating mga local government officials para mag-engage in localized peace talks. So kahapon po napagkasunduan yung guiding framework for localized peace engagement. At ito po yung framework na napagkasunduan. No? Number one, it is nationally orchestrated, centrally directed, and locally supervised and implemented. Number two, the constitutional integrity and sovereignty will not be compromised. Number three, complete and genuine resolution of the local armed conflict. It shall cover the NPAs, organs of political power, and militia ng bayan. Number four, if there is a ceasefire, the constitutional mandate of the state to protect public safety, civilian welfare, critical infrastructure, and private properties, and the guarantee of rule of law and order will not be compromised at all times. Number five, government goodwill, full amnesty package based on disarmament, demobilization, rehabilitation, and reintegration to the mainstream of society. Number six, the necessary enabling environment set by the President for the formal local talks to proceed are local venue, no coalition government, um, no coalition government or power sharing, no revolutionary taxes, extortion, arson, and violent activities, and the fighters to remain in their pre-designated encampment areas. Number 7, the substantive agenda will be based on the medium-term Philippine Development Plan and Philippine Development Program 2040. So, napagkasunduan din po na magkakaroon ng 4 na klaseng localized peace talks. Localized peace talks, kasama po ang third party. Yung localized peace talks will be between the local peace channel and the local fighters, kumbaga, leadership. Tapos community dialogue, informal open communication line and liaison network to facilitate peace package. Social media exploitation, community pressure on the fighters to participate in the local peace process. And then, meron ding local peace package, a direct availment of the GRP Peace Initiative intended to provide reintegration and mainstreaming support without going through process of peace negotiation. And number 4, confidential dialogue undertaken to a combatant armed group who desires to lie low without open documentation and will not avail of the peace package program. So magkakaroon po ng executive order na that will spell out the guidelines that were agreed upon yesterday. No? Kahapon po, naalala ko, may nagtanong din dito tungkol dun sa estado ng compliance sa ating mga maritime schools with European Union standards. And it was announced yesterday that there will be an agreement brokered by the DOTR between the CHED and the Marina, where the CHED will now undertake supervision and inspection of all maritime schools to ensure compliance with EU standards. No? At dahil nga po sa importansya ng bagay nito, dahil tayo pa rin ang pinakamaraming mga Pilipino na nagtatrabaho bilang seamen, no? Ang presidente na po mismo ang nagsusupervise ng compliance, no, ng ating mga maritime schools, no? At tinatarget po natin na mamimit natin ang mga deadlines dahil ang deadlines naman na nakasaad ay magsumiti ng mga plano natin kung paano tayo magko-comply doon sa mga requirements ng European Union, no? Now, good news, yung ating amelioration ng train na ibibigay po ng okay. Wag muna daw. Okay. So babalik tayo sa mga usual good news. Ang usual good news na ginawa ni Director Ting at ni Mao. So ayaw nila ito muna. Okay, Global Connectivity Index. Okay, ayon po sa Global Connectivity Index published by Huawei, ang Philippines daw po ay 57 out of 79 countries in ICT infrastructure and digital transformation. The report also noted the country reached a 35-point score which upgrades the country's status from adopter from a starter country. In addition, it highlighted the improvements in the country's 4G coverage, computer household accessibility, smartphone usage, and the government's investment on data center and cloud migration. Ang Panglao Airport po, 90.14% complete already. No? Ito po yung ating kauna-unahang Eco Airport. It is expected to be fully completed by August, and it can accommodate up to 2 million passengers in its opening years. We are referring to the Bohol Airport as the green gateway to the world. It has environment-friendly and sustainable structures with solar panels which will be installed on the roof of passenger terminal building to cover around 1/3 of the airport's energy requirement. At the basement or underground will be a world-class water treatment facility to ensure that the resorts of Panglao will not be discharging dirty water into the oceans. Now, it is the second anniversary of our win in the arbitration before the Permanent Court of Arbitration, and we assure the public that on the second year of the anniversary, we will continue to assert what is ours while we move on with our bilateral relations with China. Okay, questions?
MPC questions? Rose Novinario. Thank you.
Sir, ano po yung may basbas ba ng palasyo yung sinabi ni House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez sa Noel sa 2019 to give way daw po dun sa Chacha?
Wala po. Gaya ng paulit-ulit na nating sinabi, ang presidente po ang tagapagpatupad ng ating saligang batas hanggang hindi po mababago ang petsa ng halalan na nakasaad sa ating saligang batas. Patutupad po yan ng presidente, matutuloy po ang eleksyon ng 2019. Ang only possibility po kung maratify ng mas maaga itong proposed new constitution, in which case the 87 constitution would cease to have legal effect. No? Pero habang wala pa pong bagong saligang batas, sisiguraduhin po ng presidente magkaka-eleksyon.
Ano po, nakapagpaliwanag ba si Speaker Alvarez kay Presidente kung ba't niya sinabi yon?
Hindi naman po kinakailangan magpaliwanag dahil alam naman natin na independenteng sangay ng gobyerno ang Kongreso. No? At alam din naman siguro ng ating mga mambabatas, ang obligasyon ng ang presidente ay tagapagpatupad po ng saligang batas at ng ating mga batas.
Sir, tingin ng palasyo makakahakot ito ng iba yung parang galit laban sa administrasyon dahil considering na kakaalyado ng Malacañang si Speaker Alvarez.
Hindi po, dahil ang desisyon naman kung itutuloy hindi, nasa ehekutibo.
Thank you.
Ina Andolong.
Sir, just how optimistic po ba ang Malacañang that the ratification of the new charter may happen next year when some senators are saying that it's still not a priority for them now?
Well, in terms of optimism, we remain optimistic, no? And the President has said na nga na if it is finally ratified by the people, then he will step down. And he's hoping that both the Consultative Committee and Congress will adopt his suggestion calling for a transitory provision providing that the transition leader will be an elected post.
Do you think, sir, that the President has enough allies in the Senate to convince all of the majority of them to prioritize charter
We
change?
believe so. I think we have a very good working relationship with many of our senators.
Sir, dun sa anniversary ng arbitral ruling, I'd just like to get your comments on this. Former Solicitor General Hilbay said that there are groups planning to file a case before the Supreme Court to compel the DFA to reveal the public to reveal to the public diplomatic actions done by the government against China's militarization.
It's a free country. They can file it, and we will meet them in court.
But can't the DFA just do it if people request for it?
I do not know what else they want, but in my briefings, I go into some detail on what we have done, no? As far as protests are concerned. I have said that we are discussing this in the bilateral mechanism that we have in China, which also has the effect of a protest. The President has publicly protested in some instances, and I know of formal protests filed directly with the embassy upon express direction of the President. No? So we have said all these. We're not hiding what we have been doing to protect our sovereignty and sovereign rights in the disputed areas of the West Philippine Sea.
And Mr. Hilbay also said that there's betrayal of public trust daw po ang non-action ng government sa aggression ng China.
He should file impeachment if he wants. He's welcome. It's a free country.
Joseph Morong.
Sir, would you care to comment on the tarpaulins that were posted this morning, I think, announcing that the Philippines is a province of China? What do you think of it?
I don't think I should even comment. We don't even know who hung those tarpaulins.
Yeah, the theory.
No, I mean, it's absurd, and I'm sure it's the enemies of our government behind it. So, to them, try again. You need a better gimmick than that.
Who are these enemies of the
I
government?
don't know, but certainly we have nothing to gain by hanging those tarpaulins.
All right. Do you think there's truth to that, though? The message?
Certainly not.
Okay, because?
Because we continue to assert our sovereignty and sovereign rights. But we decided to move on issues which are non-controversial because we know that the final resolution, particularly on the issue of sovereignty on the disputed islands, will take many, 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 many years to resolve since this was not the subject of the arbitral ruling that we won 2 years ago.
All right, thank you.
Pia Gutierrez. Okay na. Questions? Nestor Corrales.
Sir, good morning. Former Foreign Affairs Secretary Albert Del Rosario earlier this morning said that the government continues to be a willing victim of China and an abettor to Beijing because we refused to enforce the Hague ruling 2 years after we won the landmark case.
Number one, that's his view. Number two, I don't know what makes him an authority to give that view. Number three, I'm not sure what they mean by enforcing an arbitral decision, because an arbitral decision is binding on parties thereto.
Follow-up,
It
China?
clearly underscores the fact that some individuals, including the former Secretary of Foreign Affairs, does not fully comprehend the nature of arbitration.
Follow-up? Okay, Joseph.
Just picking up your point, elaboration. Why do you think that the former Secretary of Foreign Affairs does not fully comprehend?
Because he's calling for enforcement when arbitration is clearly binding on the parties thereto.
And China is not, no?
I don't know what you mean by that. Whether or not China will acknowledge it, China is bound by it because that's the nature of arbitration.
Okay.
Jopel.
Sir, good morning. Sir, after po na ma-certified yung as urgent, yung Universal Healthcare Bill, may mga senior citizen po ako na nakausap, and yung isa nga po dito is 10 years na po na retired teacher, and operated po siya sa puso. At hindi po siya nakatatanggap ng pension or benefits dahil nga po sa loan niya. So nagtatanong po siya kung may pagkakataon din daw po ba na ma-certify ni Pangulong Duterte as urgent bill yung Universal Social Pension Bill para po sa lahat ng senior citizen.
Tignan po natin, pero hindi kasi ako author niyan eh. Kaya hindi ko alam kung masa-certify yan. Yung Universal Healthcare kasi na-approvean ko pa yan sa Kamara August of last year, and the third reading was September. And my participation was unique because I sponsored it as the primary author. I defended it. It was I who defended it, not the committee chair, no? So I, of course, have a very keen interest on having this translated into law. And I'm happy that the DOH shared my sentiment. And it was officially the DOH that proposed to the cabinet that the universal healthcare be certified as urgent.
So, sir, ano pong maibibigay natin na kahit na assurance sa mga ano natin na senior citizen natin for this bill?
Kasi ang alam ko po, ang mga senior citizen, no, na basta mag-qualify sila, meron po sila nakukuha talaga galing sa DSWD by way of an allowance.
Yes, sir.
No?
Yan po yung current na batas. Pero hindi daw po kasi kasama dyan, sir, yung mga professionals na...
Kasi nga meron silang income,
Opo, kaso nga lang po,
at
pag may
meron
loan-
silang pensyon na.
Opo, pag may loan, sir, at hindi na bayaran, then nag-retired sila, hindi na po sila makatatanggap ng pension nila. So umaasa lang daw po siya o karamihan sa kanila sa mga abot-abot ng kanilang mga anak.
Kasi po, ang proseso ng pag-certify as urgent, normally po talaga yan, yung line agency ang magpo-propose sa presidente. No? At magkakaroon ng justification. You will have to defend it. And when we had the Universal Healthcare Bill certified urgent, it took an hour and a half to defend it before the cabinet, because our economic managers had concerns about the funding requirements of universal healthcare, no, which we overcame. So, depende po yan sa desisyon ng DSWD whether or not they will move for its certification as urgent. Pero, because of universal healthcare, yung problema nung pong ng lola na sinasabi nyo, she will have free medical care and medicines in her old age. Covered po siya ng universal healthcare.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ina Andulong.
Sir, balik lang po dun sa TARPs. When you said that those who put up those TARPs should try again, they need a better gimmick than that, just to be clear, ano ang tingin yung agenda nila in doing that?
Ay, ewan ko, nagpo-provoke lang po siguro yan, no? Kasi they are obviously propagating a lie that we have given up on our national territory. It's farthest from the truth po. Paulit-ulit sinasabi ng presidente, paninindigan natin kung anong atin, pero habang hindi pa nare-resolba yan, hayaan nating umusad ang ating relasyon sa China dun sa mga bagay-bagay na po pwedeng umusad, lalong-lalo na sa larangan po ng ekonomiya.
Sir, knowing the president, how do you think will he consider these TARPs? Para sa kanya ba, does this qualify for yung lagi niyang sinasabi na nanggugulo? I know it's far from anarchism, but he always talks about people creating trouble and taking actions against them.
Wala po. Alam niyo naman ng presidente, tinatanggap lahat yung mga lahat ng mga nais na impormasyon na ibigay ng taong bayan sa merkado ng idea dahil naniniwala po ang presidente sa malayang pananalita. Pero siyempre po, bagamat may karapatan silang magsabi ng ganyan, sinisigurado ko po kasinungalingan yan.
Would you want those TARPs taken down, or for freedom of speech, let them stay there?
Wala po kaming gagawin, no? Pero I'm sure may mga taong nais kunin yung TARPs at gamitin. Siguro pamunas ng sahig or something.
Thank you, sir.
O ilalagay dun sa kubeta or something. Bahala na sila. Sayang naman, recyclable naman yan eh.
Christina Bendan. Okay na. MPC questions. Marisol Halili.
Good morning, sir. Sir, other topics. Sir, may we have your reaction on the statement of Vice President Leni Robredo saying na instead na pagtuunan ng pansin ni Presidente yung pang-insulto sa kanya, just focus on the problem on economy. This is following the President's statement of her incompetence.
Una-una po, wala tayong problema sa ekonomiya. Sabi ko na nga po, paulit-ulit, and it's a matter of record, na we are the second fastest growing economy in the world. Level optimism is all-time high. Manufacturing output is all-time high. May problema ng konti po siguro dahil mataas ang inflation, pero yung pagtaas po ng inflation dahil sa pagtaas ng presyo ng krudo, pagtaas ng presyo ng bigas, at yung napakadaming salapi ngayon na umiikot dahil nga doon sa buwis na hindi na binabayaran, yung tuition na hindi na binabayaran, at yung pondo na linalabas natin dahil sa build. Ang piso po humihina dahil nga sa build, napakadami nating inaangkat para sa mga proyektong ginagawa natin at karamihan po talaga dyan ay imported items. No? Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit bumababa ang presyo ng piso. Pero otherwise, all economies in the world po will agree that we are a darling economy. There are challenges. Itong trade war po ng US and China kahit papano magkakaroon ng epekto sa atin, pero wala naman pong direktang epekto. No? At nakakuha nga po ako ng statement sa DTI para sabihin na minimal naman epekto nito. Bagamat, dahil magkakaroon ng general slowdown siguro sa ekonomiya ng mundo, kahit paano, maapektuhan tayo, pero kampante tayo na because ang strategiya natin ay build, using the national budget to steer the economy, we will continue with our tremendous economic gains. So unang-una po, Madam Vice President, wala pong problema ang ekonomiya. Pangalawa po, alam ko pong nasaktan kayo, pero yung assessment po ni Presidente is an assessment of one who has served almost 30 years in an elected position in addition to his 10 years being a public prosecutor. So it's the assessment of a person who served government for about 40 years. Maybe we should look into the merits of what he said, especially since alam naman nating lahat na experience ni Vice President is 3 years as a congresswoman and 2 years as a Vice President. So wala naman pong mali siya doon sa assessment. It's just a frank, honest, objective assessment of the President.
Sir,
Otherwise po, hindi na niya hihingin na yung transition leader should be elected if he feels that the country will be safe in the hands of the Vice President. So yun lang po yun. It's an honest assessment.
Sir, can you be more specific, like what was the basis of the President for saying that Vice President Leni Robredo is incompetent?
I cannot po, but I'm just restating the fact that the Vice President has had 5 years of government experience compared to the almost 40 years of government experience that the President has had.
But sir, do you agree that this is an insult on the part of the Vice President?
No.
Because that's the term that she
That's what
used.
I'm highlighting. It's not an insult. It's an objective assessment of a person who has served 40 years in government.
Thank you, sir.
Rose Novenario.
Ay, sir, follow-up lang po. Sir, sa interview sa inyo kahapon sa radio, sabi nyo, nag-apply na para sa isang cabinet po si VP Leni, kailan lang?
Opo, spokes na po ako noon, di ba po? Nagsabi siya na kinukonsidera na naman niya na maging bahagi ng gabinete ni Presidente. Spokes na po ako yan at lumabas yung question nga dito at sinagot ko nga po na walang bakante. So itong position po niya na siya'y magiging pinuno na ng oposisyon, bagong position po ito, no? Kasi the last time, at spokes na po ako niyan, I've only been spokes for 7 months, no? The last time she sent word that she's still willing to serve in the cabinet of President Duterte. Yun po yung konteksto nun.
Pero wala pong particular na posisyon o pwesto
Wala
siyang
po,
nabanggit.
pero naalala niyo po yon. She said that she's open anew to serve in the cabinet of President Duterte, and I had to unfortunately announce before you there is no vacancy for her.
Okay, follow up. Other issue, Bombo, Raymond Tinasa.
Sir, good noon. Sir, parang 2 years na and ang dami nang napatay na pushers and drug users. Pero bakit kaya parang for now, every now and then, ang dami pa ring drugs na ang dami pa ring nare-raid. So, parang walang halos pagbabago sa supply ng, particular ng shabu sa mga streets. Bakit kaya, sir? What's the problem? Bakit parang walang pagbabago sa supply and trade of drugs?
Well, una-una hindi po ako sigurado kung walang pagbabago kasi napakalaki na po, bilyones na worth of drugs na po ang nahuli at nasira ng gobyerno. No? They've been destroyed. No? So I don't think that's accurate. No? At most, we're speculating. But all that we can confirm right now is, kaya ang presidente nagsasabi, hindi pa rin tayo tuluyang nagwawagi dito sa gera laban sa pinagbabawal ng droga. At ang inaasahan nga ng presidente, siguro by the end of his term, magkakaroon na talaga tayo ng deklarasyon na nagwagi na tayo. Pero sa ngayon po, patuloy ang ating gera laban sa pinagbabawal ng droga.
Sir, hindi ba kayo relatedly naalarma dun sa mga recent killings, lalo sa mga local politicians, na even wala naman kinalaman sa drugs, pero parang na-embolden na kasi yung ibang mga kriminal dahil sa drug war, sa mga nangyaring mga patayan. So parang kahit away lang sa girlfriend, away lang sa political turf, ang iniisip ng mga papatay kasi ngayon, kasalanan naman si Duterte naman yung magsisisi. So parang hindi ba parang naka-alarma na ginagamit ng excuse ngayon, pampalakas loob ng mga kriminal dahil nga sa mga recent pronouncement dati ng Pangulo?
Again po, haka-haka po yan dahil ang problema sa patayan, yan po ay inilabas na ni dating UN Special Rapporteur on Extralegal Killings, Philip Alston. Panahon pa po ni GMA, may problema na talaga tayo sa extralegal killings. So hindi po maisisisi sa war on drugs ang extralegal killings. Nariyan na po yan sa ating lipunan. Pero ang gagawin po natin, ang pagkakaiba nga po, ay yung political will na ipatupad ang batas at sa nakikita naman natin, no, napakalaki rin ang binababa ng percentage mga krimen na nagaganap. Kasama na po dyan yung patayan. Ibig sabihin, bagamat marami pong high profile na nababalita, bumaba din po ang number ng patayan sa ating lipunan ngayon.
Pero hindi nyo ba maamin na parang in one way or the other, parang may mga talagang nagsasamantala na sa sitwasyon?
Hindi po, kasi yung isang mayor pinatay ng sariling asawa. O dalawang mayor ngayon, hindi naman kasama sa ito yung babaeng mayor ng Bohol. Di ba? Ang suspetsa, ang pumatay yung sariling asawa. Itong mga key mayor Bote at yung vice mayor, malinaw na wala naman sila sa drug list. No? Meron mga napapatay sa drug list, pero isa si Paruhinog. Naku, kung tatanungin niyo yung mga tao sa kanyang bayan, no, walang nagkaduda-duda naman ng involvement ni Mayor Paruhinog at saka yung facts ng pagpatay sa kanya, malinaw naman, no, na talagang enkwentro yan. No? So, yung iba na talagang nakipaglaban, napapatay, pero marami din na wala at all kinalaman sa droga. At whether or not we have the war on drugs, magpapatuloy po yan dahil nga ang patayan po sa ating lipunan, lalo na ngayon papunta na tayo sa eleksyon, talagang narariyan na po yan. Pero unlike before, may political will po ang presidente at nagagalak nga po kami na kahapon lamang inanunsyo ng PNP na nahuli na nila yung dalawang suspect sa pagpatay kay Mayor Bote at kahapon na-recover na rin yung sasakyan doon sa pagpatay doon sa Vice Mayor ng 13 Martires. No? Importante po yan dahil kapag na-recover mo yung sasakyan, alam mo na kung sino may-ari, alam mo may physical evidence dyan, may thumbprints yan, meron yung DNA na magbibigay ng further evidence kung sino talaga behind the killings. No? So, nakalimutan kong sabihin po yun, but congratulations din po sa PNP, kay PNP Chief Albayalde, napakabilis po, lalong-lalo na yung pagkakahulis dun sa mga suspects sa pagpatay kay Mayor Bote.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Ace Romero? Okay. Henry Uri.
Good afternoon, Secretary. Yung 2 taon ng panunungkulan ng Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte, siyempre, ina-attribute din sa mga accomplishment. Ako dun sa MRT, Masaya na ba, satisfied na ba ang Pangulo sa performance ng MRT ngayon? Sapagkat dito may nabasa ako na may mga trend from China. 48 trains ng China, malaking tulong sana ito pero hanggang ngayon hindi pa daw po pwedeng i-deploy. Secretary.
Well, hindi ko po alam ang estado dyan sa mga tren na yan. Yan po siguro yung Dalian na tinatawag. No? Alam ko po, nakipagpulong dati sa akin ng DOTR, may resulta na raw yung testing dyan sa Dalian. At ang alam ko lang kung ano yung nababasa ko din sa mga press releases ng DOTR, hayaan nyo po, tatawagan ko si secretary mismo, no, para malaman. Ang huling nabasa ko na PR niya ay talagang kinakailangan magkaroon ng modifications para magamit. No? Pero at the same time, aminin ko na po, these are Chinese trains. But at the same time, kinuha na natin yung Sumitomo to maintain the trains. Hindi ko po alam kung magiging katanggap-tanggap sa Sumitomo bilang service provider yung mga Chinese trains. No? So, I promise po, kakausapin ko si Secretary Tugade dahil parang nagkaroon na rin siya ng deklarasyon na balik ng Sumitomo as service provider. Hindi ko po alam kung anong sasabihin ng Sumitomo pagdating dyan sa mga Chinese trains na Dalian.
Pero malaking bagay po ito sana kung baka pwedeng makialam na nga Malacañang dito. Sapagkat 48 trains ito, Secretary. Malaking tulong ito sa mga mananakay.
Sige po, pagkatapos nito, tatawagan ko na po ang tawag ko naman kay Secretary Tugade, my BFF. No? At lilinawin ko po talaga kung anong plano dyan sa aking BFF sa kabinete.
Thank you.
BFF ko yan, no? Si Secretary Tugade. Oh.
Pala namin, BIFF, Secretary. BFF, ha? BFF. BFF.
Bakit naman BIFF kayo talaga? Oh?
Si Hannah muna, then Joseph. Last 2 questions na to. Last 3.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, ano po masasabi ninyo dun sa government ng Sri Lanka na gusto po nilang i-replicate daw yung success ng Philippines sa drug war? Ihahang na po nila yung mga drug offenders doon, sir.
Well, tingin ko, hindi pa naman tayo dumating doon sa punto na binibitay natin sila. No? Nandun pa rin tayo sa punto na talagang ginagamit natin ang kapulisan, ang PIDEA at ang NBI at ginagamit natin ang political will para labanan itong mga nagtutulak ng droga. So ang masasabi po natin, of course, we are happy that other countries have taken note of our war on drugs and that they look upon us as best practice on dealing with illegal drugs. So we appreciate that, pero sa ngayon po, wala pa tayong death penalty.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Joseph Morong.
Sir, confirm ko lang regarding Chacha. No, was there a instruction to the Senate to fast-track or prioritize charter change? And did the President say something to Senator Soto about the transition government?
Wala pa po kasi ang instruction muna niya dun sa consultative committee, baguhin muna yung transitory provision para ilagay yung nais makita ng Presidente at saka niya itatransmit ito sa kaparehong kapulungan ng Kongreso.
Sir, pero ano lang, sabi kasi ni Senator Soto, they had a press conference with Chief Justice Puno, no, that he said, the President said to give priority at madaliin yung charter change so he can be replaced as a transition president.
No, kasama po yan. Talaga naman sinabi niya na hihilingin niya sa parehong Senado at Kongreso na ilagay yung probisyon na siya ibababa na at magkakaroon ng isang transition leader na ihahalal ng taong bayan.
Pero yung fast track, I think, is the key.
Well, inaantay muna niya yung revised version ng consultative committee bago niya i-endorse.
Okay, yun muna, sir.
Anyway, the SONA will be there. So the SONA will be the proper venue for him to lay out his legislative priority, and I'm sure it will include charter change.
Okay, last 2 questions o 3, 5. Okay. Ina Andulong. Sige.
Sir, COA recently released its report again on the Department of Tourism saying that mukhang meron nga daw pong conflict of interest dun sa issue nung show sa PTV4 because magkapatid nga po si Wanda Teo and si Mr. Tulfo. Has this been discussed again by the President maybe? Because COA apparently also wrote a letter about this to the new Tourism Secretary.
Well, COA, because it is a constitutional office, also furnishes the Ombudsman. The Ombudsman takes a while, but eventually they will file. Okay? So we are confident that the Ombudsman will eventually perform and discharge its constitutional duty and charge those who are responsible, no, if there's sufficient evidence.
Gusto ba ng Pangulo, sir, na ibalik na yung pera from the Tulfo brothers show?
Well, sila naman ang nagsabi na ibabalik nila.
So
So-
so Malacañang is waiting for it to happen.
Well, they said it, and we expect them to comply with what they said.
Thank you, sir.
Ace Romero?
Secretary, balikan ko lang yung napatay na vice mayor sa Tawi-Tawi. But then, it happened even if Mindanao is under martial law. Di ba dapat mas ligtas yung Mindanao from those kinds of crimes because of the military rule?
Well, again po, no, hindi po natin na masasabi yan. No? Kasi mukhang political season na po talaga. At napakadaming mga political-related killings na nakakalungkot, but what the President has promised is discharge of state obligation to speedily investigate, prosecute, and punish the perpetrators of these killings.
Pero sunod-sunod, Secretary,
Sunod-sunod because it's high profile. But if you look at the statistics, the number of homicides have actually declined. So, marami lang kasing prominente na natatarget, no? Pero yung statistics na binigay po sa amin ng PNP, no, for related period, I think binasa ko yan sa Good News, o kung hindi po, sa susunod na linggo, babasahin ko yung statistics, no? If I'm not mistaken, yung tinatawag nilang core crimes, yun ba yung tawag nila? Ha? Yung crime index ay bumaba, which includes homicide and murders, na bumaba by 25%. Anyway, I will get that, and on Monday or on the next press briefing, I will use it.
meron ba mga bagong hakbang na gagawin given these successive assassinations?
Well, ang bagong hakbang po dyan is si General Albayalde na napakabilis mag-imbestiga. Yung pagkahuli po doon sa 2 gunmen sa bote shows the resolve of General Albayalde to discharge his duty to investigate at the soonest time possible. And again, we commend General Albayalde for this.
Thank you, Secretary.
Okay, last two na tayo. O, three. Rosa de Cos. Microphone, please.
Dami nyo atang tanong ngayon, ha?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon po. Reaction
Yes.
lang po, left-leaning groups are questioning the plans of the government to borrow 1.19 trillion pesos next year. Bakit daw po kailangang umutang ng ganong kalaking halaga? First time na lumagpas sa trillion pesos. Saan gagamitin, saan uutangin?
Hindi ko po alam kung saan nakinuha yung figura na yan. So hindi po ako makakasagot. Kasi I cannot rely that they know what they're talking about. Dahil left-leaning nga sila. Gusto lang nila mag-ingay. No? I will check the right figure. Okay?
Alright.
But I cannot respond to that without verifying their claim.
Okay, thank you, Rosalie. Chris, Jose?
Sir, 11 days to go na lang po ay SONA na. May paghahanda na po ba ang mahal na Pangulo? Sino po yung bibihis para sa kanya? Ano po isusuot niya? May mga ideya na po kayo?
Hindi ko naman alam, pati yung tatanong mo sa akin, no? Namit ko na yung gumagawa ng barong niya, babae, pero hindi ko maalala yung pangalan. Dati pa niya taga Davao, dati pa niyang tagagawa ng barong yun. Basta namit ko na siya, pero hindi ko maalala ngayon ang pangalan. I don't know if she will do it again, pero wala namang ibang kinukuha si Presidente, no? Ang alam ko lang, yung mga kababaihan, mga asawa ng mga kongresista, lahat sila handang-handa na. Okay? Bawal ang extravagant, but they have their ways to become elegant, no? So, let them be with their ways, okay? So, yun po. And of course, alam ko po na meron na schedule na rehearsal ang Pangulo mismo para sa kanyang State of the Nation address. Promise niya, babasahin niya. 35 minutes maximum.
Thank you po.
Promise niya.
Joseph, last question na tayo, Joseph Morong.
Sir, short lang. Yung localized peace talks, when will this start? After the EO ba? And when
Oo,
do you
magkakaroon po ng EO.
Okay. So, when do you expect the EO?
Hindi ko po alam.
Okay, sir. BBL, with regard to territory and House solution, no? Ang net effect ba nito, sir, is that potentially the Bangsamoro government will have less territories than ARM?
No.
Because, why?
Because the municipalities of Lanao del Norte did not vote to join ARM. So ngayon po, hindi sila kabahagi ng ARM. Ha? No. Yung mga munisipyong yon hindi. They conducted They conducted a referendum in the entire and they did not join. So, ang suma total, kapareho rin. Hindi naman sila nabawasan.
Alright, so the question will be, plebiscite time, is that, okay, yung barangays assuming want to be included in the Bangsamoro government, right? And then the city or the municipality of which that barangay is involved, is part of, if they vote no, override yung barangay vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Yun po yung decision ng umali.
Alright. So yung Marawi lang, medyo delayed yata yung groundbreaking nila.
Nako, si General Del Rosario had an earlier
That's
press
right, that's what they
briefing.
said.
So, I defer to whatever he may have said kasi hindi ko na-monitor ko anong sinabi niya.
Yeah, but okay lang ba yung delay, sir? I mean, considering, the hardships of our...
Let's put it this way, we have full trust and confidence on General Del Rosario. He was made to be in charge of Marawi and we stand by the choice and we support him in his decisions.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson.
Thank you very much. See you on Thursday. Because 16 is the Mahathir, Monday. O pagbalik niyan, ewan ko if I can come on time for the 17th, okay? So, it will be the 19th. But, I think Director Seno may conduct on the 17th under mechanisms that we will discuss, okay?
Okay. Okay, maraming salamat. Malacañang Press Corps. Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque. Back to our main studio sa Radyo Pilipinas and People's Television Network.